Welcome back to the English Hub podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Sophia. Today we're going to dive into a crucial topic that affects every aspect of our lives: effective communication skills.
That's right, Sophia. Whether it's at work, in our personal relationships, or even in casual conversations, good communication is key. Let's kick things off by discussing what we mean by effective communication. Segment 1, Understanding Effective Communication.
Effective communication is about more than just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotion and intentions behind the information. It's both the ability to express yourself clearly and to listen actively.
Exactly. Effective communication involves a combination of skills, including nonverbal communication, engaged listening, managing stress in the moment, and the ability to understand and recognize your own emotions and those of the person you're communicating with.
Let's start by breaking down these components, starting with engaged listening. David, why is listening so important?
Segment 2, The Importance of Active Listening. Listening is a fundamental part of communication. When we actively listen, we show respect to the speaker and build trust. It involves not just hearing the words, but also understanding the message behind those words.
Active listening means paying full attention to the speaker, acknowledging their message, and responding thoughtfully. It also means avoiding distractions and not planning your response while the other person is speaking.
A great tip for improving active listening is to practice reflective listening. This involves paraphrasing what the speaker has said to confirm your understanding. For example, you might say, "So what I'm hearing is," or "It sounds like you're saying." Segment 3, Nonverbal Communication.
Let's move on to nonverbal communication, which includes facial expressions, body language, and eye contact. These nonverbal cues can convey a lot of information beyond words.
Nonverbal communication can reinforce what is being said, or it can contradict the verbal message, leading to confusion. For instance, saying "I'm fine" while looking down and avoiding eye contact sends mixed signals.
Being aware of your own body language and learning to read others' nonverbal cues can greatly enhance your communication. Simple actions like maintaining eye contact, nodding to show understanding, and using open gestures can make a big difference.
Segment 4, Clarity and Conciseness. Clarity and conciseness are also key components of effective communication. It's important to articulate your thoughts clearly and get to the point without unnecessary details that can confuse the listener.
One way to achieve this is by organizing your thoughts before speaking. This can be especially useful in professional settings or when discussing complex topics. Asking yourself what the main message is and what key points you want to convey can help keep your communication clear and to the point.
Also, being concise doesn't mean being abrupt. It's about finding a balance between providing enough detail and not overwhelming the listener with too much information. Segment 5, Emotional Intelligence.
Emotional intelligence plays a huge role in effective communication. It involves being aware of your own emotions as well as those of others, and using this awareness to manage interactions successfully.
High emotional intelligence helps you to empathize with others, manage stress, and navigate social complexities. When you understand how your emotions affect your communication, you can better control your responses and avoid misunderstandings.
Empathy, which is a part of emotional intelligence, allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. It involves listening to understand, not just to reply, and acknowledging the emotions of others.
6. Building rapport. Building rapport is another important aspect. Establishing a connection with the person you're communicating with can make interactions smoother and more productive.
Building rapport involves showing genuine interest in the other person, finding common ground, and being approachable. Simple gestures like smiling, using the person's name, and maintaining a friendly tone can help build rapport.
Also, mirroring the other person's body language subtly can help establish a connection. This doesn't mean copying them exactly, but reflecting their level of energy and enthusiasm. Segment 7. Managing stress in communication.
Managing stress in communication is crucial, especially in high-stakes situations. Stress can cloud your thinking and make it difficult to communicate clearly and effectively.
One technique for managing stress is to take deep breaths and pause before responding. This can help you stay calm and think more clearly. Also, practicing mindfulness and staying present in the moment can reduce anxiety.
It's also helpful to have strategies in place for dealing with difficult conversations. For example, preparing what you want to say in advance, practicing with a friend, or writing down key points can help you feel more confident and less stressed. It's also helpful to have strategies in place for dealing with difficult conversations. For example, preparing what you want to say in advance, practicing with a friend, or writing down key points can help you feel more confident and less stressed.
Tailoring your communication style to your audience is another important skill. Different situations and different people require different approaches.
For example, the way you communicate with a colleague might differ from how you talk to a friend or family member. Understanding the context and adjusting your style accordingly can improve your communication.
Includes choosing the right medium for your message. Sometimes a face-to-face conversation is best, while other times an email or text message might be more appropriate. Segment 9. Feedback and improvement.
Seeking and giving feedback is essential for improving communication skills. Constructive feedback can help you understand how others perceive your communication style and identify areas for improvement.
When giving feedback, it's important to be specific and focus on behaviors rather than personal attributes. For example, saying, "I notice that you often interrupt during meetings" is more helpful than saying, "You're rude."
And when receiving feedback, try to stay open-minded and avoid becoming defensive. Use the feedback as an opportunity to grow and enhance your communication skills.
Segment 10. Practical exercises and tips. Let's talk about some practical exercises and tips for improving communication skills. One effective exercise is to practice speaking in front of a mirror. This can help you become more aware of your body language and facial expressions.
Another exercise is to record yourself speaking and then listen to the recording. This can help you identify areas for improvement, such as unclear speech, filler words, or a monotonous tone.
Role-playing different scenarios with a friend or colleague can also be beneficial. This allows you to practice your communication skills in a safe environment and receive immediate feedback. Segment 11. Real-life applications.
Now, let's discuss how these skills can be applied in real-life situations. In the workplace, effective communication can lead to better teamwork, increased productivity, and stronger professional relationships.
In personal relationships, good communication can improve understanding, reduce conflicts, and strengthen bonds. It's about being open, honest, and respectful in your interactions.
In social situations, effective communication can help you connect with others, make a good impression, and navigate different social dynamics with ease.
Segment 12. Listener. stories, and questions. We asked our listeners to share their experiences with communication challenges and successes. Here's a story from Mike, who improved his communication skills at work by taking a public speaking course. He says it helped him become more confident and articulate in meetings.
That's a great example, Mike. We also received a question from Lisa. How can I improve my communication skills if I'm an introvert?
Great question, Lisa. For introverts, it's important to practice in comfortable settings and gradually step out of your comfort zone. Start with one-on-one conversations and then move on to larger groups. Remember, effective communication isn't about being the loudest person in the room, but about being clear and genuine.
Here's another question from Jake. What can I do to avoid misunderstandings in my communications?
Jake, to avoid misunderstandings, always aim for clarity and confirm understanding. Ask follow-up questions and paraphrase what the other person has said to ensure you're on the same page. Also, be mindful of your tone and body language, as these can influence how your message is received.
We have a question from Emily. I find it hard to express my thoughts clearly when I'm nervous. What can I do to improve this?
Emily, managing nervousness is a common challenge. One strategy is to practice deep breathing exercises to calm your nerves. Also, preparing your thoughts in advance and practicing what you want to say can help you feel more confident and articulate.
Here's a question from Mark. How can I give constructive feedback without sounding critical?
Mark, the key to giving constructive feedback is to focus on specific behaviors and the impact of those behaviors. Use I statements to express how the behavior affects you and offer suggestions for improvement. For example, I noticed that the report was submitted late, which affected the project timeline. It would be helpful if future reports could be submitted on time.
And lastly, a question from Laura. How can I handle a situation where someone misunderstands my intentions?
Laura, if someone misunderstands your intentions, it's important to address the misunderstanding calmly and clarify your message. Use clear and specific language to explain your intentions and ask for feedback to ensure that your clarification is understood. Segment 13. Final tips and wrap-up.
As we wrap up, here are a few final tips for developing effective communication skills. Practice active listening. Be aware of nonverbal cues. Manage your stress. And continuously seek feedback.
And remember, effective communication is a lifelong skill that can always be improved. It's about being open to learning and adapting your approach as needed.
That's all for today's episode. We hope you found these tips helpful.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the English Hub podcast and leave us a review. Until next time, keep communicating effectively.
Bye, everyone.